Practice exam. Listening Part 2. You will hear a radio report about an unusual orchestra that plays musical instruments made out of vegetables. For questions 10 to 17, complete the notes. Listen very carefully as you will hear the recording once only.
If you're a fan of experimental music, then there's a real treat in store for you at the Henley Music Festival, which is taking place between the 7th and 9th of July at Henley, near London. Because that's where you'll get a chance to see the Vienna Vegetable Orchestra in action. Yes, that's right, I said vegetable orchestra. Now, this is not a joke. The orchestra really exists, and they'll be playing a variety of pieces ranging from traditional folk music to opera favourites like Gershwin's Summertime. And all the music will be performed not on traditional musical instruments, but on instruments made completely out of fresh vegetables. The inspiration behind the orchestra lies in the simple concept that it's possible to make musical sounds with anything. As is well known, in Africa and elsewhere, musicians make their own very effective instruments out of recycled materials, such as bits of old cars and discarded cooking utensils. So why not food? Well, one reason is that vegetables are not particularly noisy as a rule, but unlike their African counterparts, the musicians in the orchestra will have the benefit of amplification to make sure the audience catches each tiny sound. In the Vienna Orchestra, for example, there'll be drums made out of pumpkins, a flute that started life as a carrot, and a violin where two leeks are rubbed together to create a sound. Easiest to make are the carrot flutes, apparently, so there's something you might all like to try at home. But beware, I'm assured by members of the orchestra that only vegetables of the highest quality should be used. They make their instruments freshly an hour before each concert, as they tend to deteriorate after that, as does the quality of the sound. Another interesting fact I gleaned from the orchestra was that vegetables in Britain tend to be larger than those back home in Vienna. To get round this, they've had to order organic produce when they're performing there, which tends to be more the size they're used to dealing with at home. On the day of the concert, around 40 kilos of vegetables are delivered to the venue. Once made, the instruments have to be stored very carefully, as the sound is impaired if they get too dry, so humid conditions are needed, which is an issue in some concert venues, especially in the winter when there is central heating. And in case you're thinking that this is all a bit of a waste of food, let me assure you that nothing gets thrown away. After the performance, the musicians wash the remaining vegetables, chop them up, and serve them to the audience as soup at the end of the evening. And in the cool of the evening, what could be nicer? Let's hope these vegetables taste as good as they sound. If you're interested in seeing the Vienna Vegetable Orchestra perform...